Alright, so we're back with the surfacing of the cylinder head. 09 kx250 4-stroke. Same on all if you're gonna do it the cheaper way. So we're defining straight. What is straight? Straight is good as what you can do, I guess. But we wanted as straight as perfect as they're perfect. Even the best of the best, machining with the best of the best would probably still be microns under deflection. So I have a piece of granite. Granite is actually pretty straight, depending on what purpose and who gets it and what you get it for. It can be really straight. Matter of fact, it's probably straighter than my straight edge. So I'm gonna put you down here on this. Unfortunately, I only have a 6/1000 filler gauge, but we're gonna get down a little bit more than that. I can adjust this a little better, maybe go down some. So I have a fairly decent straight, frame and square. Yeah, well, it's straight, but how straight? Well, fair. So my 6/1000. Okay. But being that's all I have a piece of aluminum foil. On my mic, it's just under 1/1000 if you don't squeeze it. You know, half a thou. If you're within a half a thou or 1/1000 or more, you're fine. That's what they make gaskets for. The head is going to expand and contract anyway. Just barely. Okay, we probably that is just barely dragging through there. So and that could be in the straight edge. I would assume it's got a little bit of, anyway, a little bit more right there. It's actually grabbing pretty good right there. So maybe we're a 1/1000th out, splitting hairs. That's going to be absolutely perfectly fine for this application. We're going to take the cylinder head. We're going to put it's just going to take a little bit of elbow grease, and we might start with. I got some little divots there, but I'm still going to start with something fine, maybe 600 grit or so, and then we'll take it on down. And I'm going to work it. And we're going to work it down till she has cleaned up the edge. So I'll bring you back when I get done with that, and we'll see where we're at. We're going to try a little 120. It is kind of pitted. We can get that to stick good. Oh yeah. And then work my way down. I'm going to end up having to get some sandpaper. I don't actually have to, I need some big squares for this, so I have to run and get some, because I want to take it right on down, probably, I don't know, 2,000 or so or more. All right, I'm back. I do not own the rights to that music. Who comes up with that? You mean that dude can pull up beside me at the freaking store with his freaking music playing so loud his trunk's about to fly off and hit Granny in the head, and everybody can hear it? You can play anything, anywhere, anytime, anytime you want, but you can't play on YouTube. Come on, man. Alright, enough of that. They had a very good selection of Harbor Freight, so I'm going to do 220, 600, 1200, and run it on some 2000. Let's get after it. 220. $600. Aluminum oxide. Clamps worked out good. A little bit of wetness on the back of the paper and some clamps. 600. $1,200. $2,000. Alright, so that ended up turning out good. Really good. I actually stepped it back down. I don't think it needs to be polished to a mirror finish. Your gasket needs something to hold on to. As long as it's perfectly flat, that's what you're after. As flat as you can get it. Those little dings where the valve is broke, all that's perfectly flush now. None of that's gonna matter anyway. It's not gonna hurt nothing. I mean, if I was to take it down, I don't want to be too close. I guess if I was racing, I was going to take it down to maximize the compression. But that'll work just fine. All right, let's give it one last little check here. Oh, tearing it. Tore it. While I got that spot seemed to try not to put any pressure, just what the weight of the. So it's tearing it. So it's good. It's been under a half a thou. That will work. All right, so I'm down to my last biggest hurdle. So when you break a valve and that bike is turning several thousand RPMs, when it comes to a sudden jolt stop. These are pressed on. That is pressed on there, that bearing is pressed on there, and one bearing feels very questionable. I can feel it ever so lightly locking up, which is not good. But beyond that, my biggest problem here is when I set these in time. Okay, you see, when that timing mark is at the crest of that head, that one should be dead center. When that timing mark is at the crest, that one should be dead center. That one's off. It's looking off to me, and I may have to come up with another way to actually check this. The thing to do when you redo these bikes is take your Dremel and cut you a notch. If anything like that ever happens and they spin, you know you can pull that off and line that back up with that notch. When you're in this predicament, you just might be buying new cams, or if you can send it back to somebody that knows the specs, because had I knew them or had a way, yeah, I could pull it off, because I was going to pull these off and change these bearings out. I hadn't seen anybody on YouTube take this off and change these bearings. They just buy new ones. All right, check this out. I got the laser on it. When I roll this up, you see that little dot. That dot's supposed to be right level with the top of the head. All right. You see them go around on this side, make sure it's right on. That one is dead center of the dot, and that one is dead center of the dot. Now, if you look, that should be perpendicular right straight up from that hole. Look at that one. All right, so I regrouped. Got it on the tripod. This is a hard call. I took some time to set this up. This freaking camera is hard to do this because you get a certain way that laser won't let you there. All right, I got them dead. I got them dead on. All right, they're dead on both sides of the dots. All right. Let's see if I don't get in front of the laser here. Can you see where that one is? I don't know if anybody's ever done this, if it's that close, if it's spun, if it's that much. That is close. A while ago, eyeballing it, I was thinking, wow, that's way off. That is freaking close. So, I'm going to set up and do the other side, and let's see what it says. All right. This one's showing dead on. Look at that. So that means either that side has spun ever so freaking slightly. You know, with the laser deal, I actually might could spin that to where that's actually back lined up, which is a freaking fraction. So I'm gonna go back and do it one more time. What you see? She's dead on the line. Now I'm splitting the line. Half of that laser line's on the edge and half of it's on the dot. It's hard to see that with the cam. And she's dead nuts, brother. That side is dead nuts. Once again, it is still that much off. Or is that something they do at the factory? To advance, is it advanced? I don't know. Interesting. Anybody know? I've never seen anybody do this. I just happen to think of it with my laser. That's so close. That's a hard call. Anybody out there knows anything? Let me know. I'm going to actually call that actually good. That is so freaking close, but it's hard to chance it, because if that's off one little bit, enough that the valve would touch, it's over. You'll be right back in the same predicament you're in. It's either that or lock that gear up and try to actually spin it. I'm gonna mark them anyway and pull them off and do those bearings. All right, guys, you've seen that for yourself. I mean, I took some time and set that laser up. That's a self-leveling laser. I took enough time to set it up where it actually split the line across there. What call would you make? You know, I know a lot of guys say, oh, that's off, that's all. Well, who's tested that? And how do you know the factory didn't advance that little bit? I've never seen anything on YouTube on that. Everybody just freaking buys another one. You know, just trash them, I guess. But I'm curious to know. So, yeah, I don't mind buying some, but I would love to know. So personally, it probably spun a little bit. It's very possible. So anyway, I'm wrapping this up. Let me know what you think. I'd like to see people that would press those up and change those bearings. That if the cam's good. I mean, anybody's got a press. You know, you can etch those things and press them out. You can press it right back on in the exact same spot. But in that predicament, had that been marked, I could have pressed it out of there, put it right back that one little fraction or wherever, however bad it spun, and press it right back on. So could be fixed. But interesting. See you on the next one.